Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter Podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib, and we have a great show for you today. And if you want to call and ask questions, you can call in right now, 323-870-3857. And we'll be here till about 8:30 tonight. And today, we're going to talk about the big news this week. Canelo Alvarez, now a free agent. How about that? We'll tell you what's next for him. And this, for whatever, I don't know if it was a full moon this week. I don't know what was going on. We have multiple train wrecks of the week this week, including, one of our favorites, of course. All right, but first, we're going to get started with DAZN. Devin Haney versus Yuriorkis Gamboa. 118-109 and 120-107 twice. This was an absolute blowout. Devin Haney won every second of every round here, man. The fight, honestly, was never in question. Gamboa just looked frustrated, honestly, down the stretch. Haney looked good. He looked really fast last night. The only problem for him, to me, is that he didn't look crowd-pleasing. It's not the kind of thing that you're going to go out there and want to go out of your way for. You know what I mean? At least that's where, I fall. Listen, I like that type of boxing, but I'm talking about the masses. Will this kind of fight attract the casual fan to Devin Haney? I don't think so. Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis, they're crowd pleasers, man, especially Gervonta Davis after his last fight. Haney, yeah, not so much, man. But look, man, I mean, he fought Gamboa, won every second of that fight. Gamboa was never in the fight. He was never competitive, and that's what he was supposed to do. But Beeb, I thought that I would have liked to seen him get a knockout, maybe press the action a little bit. What was your assessment of this fight?
It's so funny, and I hate to nitpick, but when I watched this fight, I was looking at the mannerisms of Devin Haney. The body language, the look on his face. And I don't know, if you go back and you watch De La Hoya versus Floyd Mayweather and see how Floyd Mayweather fought that fight, you could see the look in his face, like he had his eyes wide open like this, like almost like he was concerned with what he had in front of him. And obviously you're concerned with what you have in front of you because you want to defend yourself. And no one likes getting hit. But Devin Haney just had that look of, I don't know, like a little bit of apprehension, indecisiveness, right? And then you flip it to Tank Davis, and then you flip it to Teofimo, as you said. When you looked at Tank Davis when he fought Leo Santa Cruz, he had that he was dialed in. He had that look, like real focused. When Teofimo fought Lomachenko, he had that really zeroed in look, like that confident look. He had a swag about him. Gervonta Davis has a swag about him. Devin Haney had that look. He had that wide-eyed look to him, like, and there was even times when Gamboa would throw punches at him, and he just, it was almost like he was in there with someone that he like a power puncher. Like he was behaving like he was in there with someone that was really a threat to him. And Gamboa just, to me, didn't seem like he posed the threat. It was like Haney was showing him too much respect. He was in there like Haney fought him like he was fighting Mike Tyson, in other words.
Yeah.
And Gamboa was not Mike Tyson.
No.
He was throwing the jab, but he was just very cautious, as if there was he was being faced with the serious threat. And Gamboa can box. Don't get me wrong. Gamboa got Crawford's attention, but Crawford kind of walked him down. At some point in the fight, we were looking for Haney to walk Gamboa down, just as Tank Davis walked Gamboa down. But he fought him like he was in there with like a monster, and he really wasn't in there with the monster. So I don't know. I was just looking at Haney, and I'm sitting there saying, what's wrong with Haney? Like, what's going on here?
Let me ask you though. What was a more impressive performance? Was it Tank's performance against Gamboa or Haney's performance against Gamboa? Tank got touched up in that fight. I mean, he got hit. I mean, that was a competitive fight. I mean, Tank was getting hit in that fight. Now was it like crazy where it was like, Tank was winning the rounds, obviously, but I thought that, Gamboa was more in, as in as he could be in the Tank fight before getting knocked out. Yeah. We know that Davis faded a little bit down the stretch in that fight. It's tough because, I look at it, but, when I see Davis's performance, I remember that. I remember him getting knocked out knocked out in the 11th round or whatever.
12th round, yeah. 12th round. Knocked him down 3 times in the fight.
You remember that.
Can I
Haney just like whitewashed him. And this is after the fact. That guy is 38 years old. G Funky in the chat, he said he's been down 17 times coming into this fight. I just expected a little bit more from Haney than what we saw. And I think it's like you said, he gave him, I don't know why he was giving him so much respect in there. Again, listen, man, I'm not feeling his punches, so I don't know. But I expected, especially with everything knowing, all right, that he's kind of part of this big four now. You got Lopez, you got Davis, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. You got those 4 guys floating around there. Look, man, I mean, you know that Davis knocked him out. You're going to have to do, the eyes are on you. I understand what he did, but I don't know.
Here's the difference between the performances. Davis was in there with the intent to cause damage. He wanted to hurt Gamboa. He wanted to get him out of there.
Yes.
Haney just wanted to win rounds and win rounds with giving himself minimal risk as possible. He was in there. He was fighting as if he was in there with someone who was like friggin' Julian Jackson, Gerald McClellan. He fought him like he was in there with someone like that. And I just don't understand why, because he's the bigger, stronger, faster, harder puncher. And he didn't fight like he was. He fought like he fought as if he was in there with someone who was a bigger puncher than him, that posed more of a threat than we thought he did. Gamboa's not that menacing power puncher, intimidating stalker type guy. And that's how Haney fought him, as if he was that. That's the impression I got. And again, he won every round, landed some good right hands over the top, but he really didn't put, right when he landed a good shot, he didn't follow up. He didn't press. He never pressed. He fought in one gear the whole fight. Tank, when you go back and watch Tank, Tank has those moments of explosiveness, those spurts. Tank switches gears. Teofimo switches gears. Haney's the type of guy where he's willing to just coast, and that's it. And as you said, the problem with that type of style and that type of approach is it's not fan friendly. So now, off of this, is anyone going to say, "Hey, I want to see Haney fight Tank"? Hey, I want to see Haney fight Teofimo. Are the drums going to be beaten for those fights? I don't know. I'd rather see Teofimo fight Tank than fight Devin Haney.
For sure. Could you imagine? Let me ask you a question. Could you imagine Teofimo in there last night with Gamboa? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, even like you could sit there and say, well, Teofimo just boxed Lomachenko, but
big difference.
He backed him up. He was ripping the body. He was throwing some authoritative punches, looking to hurt Lomachenko, and go and watch that 12th round. He was trying to get him out of there.
Yeah.
So,
listen, he would have got Gamboa out of there inside of 6 rounds.
Teofimo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he would have got rid of him within 6 rounds, no questions.
And you know what's crazy too is I think Tank was a little bit off, and even Tank being a little bit off against Gamboa, he was knocking him down, hurting him, rocking him.
And it could have been, I don't know. Listen, man, fighting Devin Haney, fighting Ryan Garcia, fighting Tank. This is Super Bowls for everybody now. Like it or not, listen, man, you're getting everybody's A game. When you step up to fight one of these three guys, you're getting their A game when you step up.
I agree.
You're getting Gamboa's A game. What's left of his A game, that's what you're going to get.
Well, let me ask you this, because when you're dealing with guys who have supreme talent, and when you group all the fighters that are in the elite class, right? It becomes a game of inches, correct? At that point,
for sure.
So again, I hate nitpicking and I hate playing this sports psychologist, but you look at the intangibles when you talk about that upper echelon of guys.
Yeah.
And when I look at, like I said, when I look at Tank, when I look at Teofimo, they have that air. They exude confidence. They have that swag to them. They have that look. You could tell they're dialed in. Devin Haney doesn't have that demeanor to me. He's just
so.
No, he just doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, that takes nothing away from his abilities.
Sure.
But I just don't. He doesn't have that mental edge like those guys have. In other words, like, you know what? It's like you could tell you could tell Teofimo and Davis love what they're doing.
Yeah.
Whereas Haney's doing it just because he can do it, just because he's good at it. It's all about the money for Haney. It's not about the glory, the legacy, the accolades, in my opinion. And again, I could be digging deeper in it than and saying things that probably just opinion at this point. But
sure,
he just doesn't have that killer instinct like those other two guys have. Doesn't have that mean streak. Like Crawford has the mean streak.
Yes.
Floyd had that mean streak too.
I think you have to have it to be at that level, though.
But that's what I'm saying. When you're at
that level, I think if you're at that level, but what I'm saying is, if you're at that level, I think you have it.
Yeah. You think you do have it when you're at that level?
I think you have to. I think you have it. If you can get to that level.
Are you sure Haney has it?
Well, I guess we're going to find out. I'm sure Tank has it.
I'm sure Tank and Teo have it.
I'm sure Teo has it. I don't think there's any question about that.
Just the fact that you're questioning it, just the fact that you're questioning it means that there's a chance that he may not have it. But again, the talent will get you only so far.
Yes.
But once there's an old saying, it's a great saying if I can remember it. Hard work. It's about when talent fails, you have to fall back on something else. It's an old saying.
Hard work outworks talent when talent refuses to work.
Yes.
Work hard, I think it is.
Something like that. If I can draw a blank. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Notorious says Eric went all in on Haney. I did, and it's one performance.
Here's another saying: nothing works unless you do.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Pretty similar to that. So there's going to be a point where talent's going to fail you, and then you're going to have to fight off of instincts. We've seen Lennox Lewis do it against Vitali. Yeah. We've even seen Teofimo do it in that 12th round because he was coming off some tough rounds in a row, and then he just kind of dug down deep. Does Devin Haney, after losing 4 rounds in a row, arguably 3 rounds in a row, 4 rounds in a row, does he come back in the 12th round like Teofimo does? Does Tank, after coming out sluggish and come back and finishes him in the 12th? Now, does Devin Haney have that intestinal fortitude to do the same things those two guys did?
Well, that's the thing. We only know until he gets that fight. You know what I mean? I'm sure his camp knows and everything like that. We only know. But, I'll tell you what's crazy about this whole thing is we're criticizing his performance, but we're not criticizing his performance in the sense that we're criticizing the fact that he didn't get a knockout or he didn't get a stoppage or whatever the case may be. But if you look at that performance from a pure boxing aspect, it was flawless. There's no question. You cannot look at that performance and say, this guy's got some holes in his game. What did we see? What did you see that you could possibly take advantage of?
Well, here's the thing. again, you have to have that mean streak and that toughness. So let me just say this. And again, I'm nitpicking because we're looking at these guys because these guys are the creme de la creme. They're the elite.
Yes.
So we're looking at them. We're looking at them under the microscope with a fine. We're combing them over with a fine.
That's what happens when you get up to that level,
right? So here's the thing. He made a statement like Gamboa was just trying to survive. He was holding me. Okay, when someone's holding you, you gotta fucking muscle them. Like, what did Tank do when Tio grabbed him? When Leo Santa Cruz grabbed him, he fucking threw him, body slammed him, right?
Right.
What did Teofimo do? Like with Lomachenko? Lomachenko was trying to do his little tricks and stuff. He came out and he took it to him in that 12th round. He said, "Fuck it, let's go." Right. So when a guy's holding you and you're accepting the clinch, you got to show that mean streak. The guy's holding you, fucking push him off. You got to shrug him. Got to give him the shoulder. What did Chavez used to do? He used to go down like this and go like that. He used to jump up. Them guys used to grab him. Used to jump like this. And then if your chin was under his head, he was going to slam you in the chin.
You're going to get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, man. I want to see where he goes from here. Gamboa is, I think, it might have been the biggest name he's fought up to this point. I think it is the biggest name. So let's start moving it up now. Let's start moving it up and seeing where, because I can give him a pass and say this is the biggest name he's fought. Maybe he was nervous, maybe he was under the lights. I don't know. But again, you can't criticize that performance though. It was it's interesting, man, but I definitely want to see him again and see where he goes from there.
Well, we are kind of criticizing it because we're both saying we wanted more.
Well, yeah, sure.
But from an X's and O's standpoint,
no,
you can't criticize that.
You can't even find a flaw in that performance, man. You can't. And that's what's so amazing about it. This is what we've kind of been reduced to, is criticizing the fact that he couldn't get him out of there.
It's just like Teofimo against the Japanese guy. He won he probably won like 11 of those 12 rounds, but
sure,
we expected more, I guess.
Well, Tyson Fury versus Volin, Otto Volin, wasn't that the one where he went the distance, got cut, and everything like that?
9-3 type fight, yeah. But he looked the worst.
9-3 fight. When they announced it 118, where did you find the 2 rounds to give him?
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, like, where did you find those 2 rounds?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Someone gave Gamboa 2 rounds.
So he 118. Yeah, they gave him 2 rounds.
I had a shutout.
I had a completely I couldn't give him a round. I couldn't find a round to give him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. All right. Now, I didn't see, full disclosure here, I didn't see the rest of that card. Was there anything worthwhile on that card? I went straight to the Haney fight and then watched that.
I was basically watching it, but not watching it.
I thought it was just kind of a nonsense type card.
I have to say, I'm going to be a hypocrite because I'm always saying don't bash boxing. I'm always criticizing people for bashing boxing. But these two fights, I had like zero interest in them. They were, these 2 fights just made no sense. The Ortiz fight.
Oh yeah.
And then this Gamboa fight with I had no desire. Like I had no desire to watch. I watched them, but
yeah.
I watched them with no anticipation, nothing. It's like when you're gonna go out to dinner or something, but the person that's cooking for you is gonna give you like broccoli and spinach, and then it's like, yeah, okay, I'm not highly anticipating this meal,
Right.
That's how I felt, When you go to the dentist, you get your teeth cleaned. It's not something you're looking forward to, You're not counting down the minutes to your dentist appointment. That's how I
wait to go get my teeth pulled.
Yeah,
right.
That's how I felt with these two cards. They were just so not needed. They were two of the most insignificant fights that I've ever come across this year.
I'll tell you, yeah, it really, and let's talk about this, because this is going to lead us to our first train wreck of the week here, and which was the whole PBC on Fox card here. Louis Ortiz versus Alexander Flores. This was an atrocious card. It really was, man. Louis Ortiz knocked out, I guess you can call it a knockout, Alexander Flores in 45 seconds. I didn't see a solid punch land, and it didn't seem like the announcers did either. I mean, Beeb, it looked like he landed a right hand to the body.
No,
It was like
no,
off the side.
He's remember when he was his eye when he's like squinting his eye like that.
Was that the L? When he hit him with
No,
the
he hit him with this. Hit him with the forearm, like the forearm part of his glove. He went like that.
You think he like raked it or something?
He could have laced him a little bit, but I guess it could have hit him with the tape. But it was like almost like the forearm part of his glove. He hit him in the eye with it. Yeah, you can see it. It didn't look great. It didn't look really hard, but it did have a look of suspicion to it. I'm not going to lie about it. It didn't look like it landed with the.
No.
It kind of did look fishy to me. But again, I don't want to cast aspersions on anything. I don't know. But it was kind of like a forearm. It was kind of like a forearm.
Yeah, I don't know. Joe Biden won 116-112 this weekend.
He won by more than that. I
he sure did.
118 or 110, maybe. Congratulations to Joe Biden, man. He pulled it off.
Tell you what are you gonna do?
Both candidates, I think, got more votes than anyone ever.
They sure did
in an election, right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
What is it, 75 to 70 or something like
75 to 70? Yeah.
When it's all said and done,
150 million people voted,
and the votes aren't even all counted yet.
Yeah.
Nevada's probably not going to be done with the count till freaking November 10th.
Jeez, what is going on over there, man?
It's so incompetent.
Oh my goodness!
But Joe Biden.
Who do they got? Like C.J. Ross and Adelaide Bird over there counting the stuff. I mean, really, what is going on over there?
Probably counting it like with their fingers. 1, 2, 3.
Like they count money,
Oh my God, it's horrible.
Oh my God! I tell you what, the entire card, that entire Fox card was just bad. It was like watching old wrestling matches, where there's no competitive matches, just squash matches. Like I said,
SD Jones
versus King Kong Bundy, and oh my God,
it's horrible.
It's insane. Aaron Daly, don't worry about it. There's plenty of train wrecks to go around this week. I think it was the first fight on there. I saw it was a second round knockout, two heavyweights. I don't remember who it was. They just looked awful. I mean, they looked just bad.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering where they got these guys from. I'm like, were they just waiting at Home Depot, waiting to get a job, and a truck pulls up and he just says, "Hey, do you want to box tonight?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And he gets in and that's a wrap. I mean, it was horrible. I mean, it was really that bad. So I don't know, man. Yeah, so, all right, let's go to the upcoming fights. We're going to go to the news, and then we're going to give you the Canelo story, and then we're going to go to the phone. So coming up next week from Yorkshire on November 11th, I think that's a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Is it?
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay. From Yorkshire, UK, watch on ESPN Plus. Turnsbay Colcomet versus Macaulay. What is this? Macaulay McGowan, 10 rounds. Come on. Do you ever read? Let me ask you a question, B. Do you ever read the schedule and think that as I'm reading this, I'm being punked?
This is what I do. I'm going to give you Want me to give you the optics of what I do sometimes when I'm reading the schedule? This is what I do.
Throw up?
I'll be reading and I'll be shaking my head.
I don't understand.
And I'll be saying why.
Right. I don't get this.
Here's the thing.
I'm gonna spend my time watching this. This is what you want me to do.
Here's the thing.
Are you crazy?
We all know that these guys can't fight the iron back to back to back to back to back to back. But again, there's got to be a point you can't go below either.
Something, man.
Right?
I mean, this is nonsense.
It's like when a basketball team practices, they practice against the starters and the bench team. They don't go to a high school and play a high school team to practice.
That's it.
There's got to be a point you don't go below. And Luis Ortiz, I know he's been off, but again, you don't fight with all due respect. You don't fight a guy like that. That guy doesn't even belong in the ring with you.
Jesus. It's insane. And this is on ESPN Plus, which I'll remind everybody you pay for. That's pay-per-view, basically, is what you're doing. Pay-per-view. You subscribe to another channel. It's like HBO or whatever else. Showtime. This is what they're putting on. That's the main event, by the way. Calumet versus McGowan. That Sultan Zauerbach versus Jeff Ofori is the co-main. This is, I mean, this is just sickening. I mean, really, like, what in the world are you doing? Why would I, come on, stop it. November 14th on ESPN, Terrence Crawford versus Kell Brook, 12 rounds for Crawford's WBO welterweight title. Undercard, Joshua Franco versus Andrew Maloney for Franco's WBA regular junior bantamweight title. Hopefully he has a better time than his brother did. Joshua Greer Jr. versus Edwin Rodriguez. Also on the card, Duke Reagan against the dreaded TBA. Duke Reagan, of course, from Titletown, Cincinnati. We'll see how he does. On DAZN, November 14th, Katie Taylor versus Miriam Gutierrez, 10 rounds for Taylor's WBC, WBO, IBF, WBA lightweight titles. The co-main, Terry Harper versus Katrina Thanders, 10 rounds for Harper's WBC junior lightweight title. I guess this is like an all-chick card because there's another one underneath there, and they got another chick fighting for a bantamweight title. Listen, man, whatever. And Fox Sports 1, November 14th has a PBC card, but nothing's showing up under there as far as like who's fighting. Listen, man, about the DAZN card, you know, listen, don't get me wrong. I like that Katie Taylor's, I like that she's headlining, but you know how you do this? You put a solid co-main underneath it. Names people know, and that draws them to it. And then Katie Taylor main events. You know what I'm saying? You need a name up there. It's not how you do it. And then the other thing is, too, they don't do any bios on these chicks. Nobody, why would I care if Terry Harper's fighting? I don't know who she is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying she's not a good fighter. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying your promoters are screwing you. That's the problem. Your promoters who, you know, you're paying money to, they're collecting a sum of your purse. They are screwing you. This is your problem. All right? Because I'm not interested in the fight. Beeb's not interested in the fight. All right? Why? That's not your problem. That is your promoter's problem. Do something about it. Do something about it. All right, let's talk about the Notorious. You could say that again. Yeah, read this comment. Chick card, Eric's wife would be so pissed to hear that kind of talk. Yeah, I could picture her calling in a few minutes, actually, if she heard that. You know, so again, man, they got to do something about it. They got to do something about it. Georgie says, I'm, again, discriminating against women. You know, it is what it is. I'm not, though. You think I am? I'm not. I like girl boxing. I do. We had Sula Urbina on here. Chick boxing. What do you fancy? What do you want to call it? What do you want to call it, Beeb?
Female boxing.
Is that a sexist remark from me?
Women's boxing.
I love women. I love women.
They're not girls. They're women.
I love women. What am I going to do? Start promoting it properly. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. More people agree with me.
Who do we have? We had Christina Hammer on here. We had Urbina.
Yeah.
We had Shayna Fabiano. Who else? How many female fighters have we had on here?
I think that's about it. I think we've had some more.
Yeah, we had some more.
I remember Christina Hammer.
Yeah, Christina Hammer.
Remember her? Yeah.
I loved when we had her on.
I did too, man.
I love that accent. Oh, drives me crazy.
Right. And then, you know, we had Sula Urbina. She was on here.
Shayna Fabiano, Everett's finest. The only female fighter out of Everett.
It's not us. We love women. We're doing our part. Terrible, babe.
We got to get some more women on here.
I love women. Let's get them on here. Let's get a bunch of women on here.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're boxers or not. Let's just get them on here. Who cares?
Clarissa Shields on here.
What's that?
Get Clarissa Shields on here. When's she fighting next?
I don't know.
Haven't heard anything. Haven't heard anything about her.
No. It's been quiet on the Clarissa Shields front. Let's talk about this Terrence Crawford-Kell Brook fight. Because this is the big fight coming up this weekend. And, you know, listen, man. I tell you what. Rob87, come on. Stop it. Although, I mean, it's on YouTube. I guess we could. I don't know. Rob 87 says topless would be acceptable. Come on, stop it, Rob.
So, Notorious VC saying, did you hear?
What's this?
You guys hear Clarissa Shields fighting on Zuffa boxing card? I heard that, but I heard it. Someone told me that, but I haven't seen it.
But I don't know that anything's really confirmed or anything like that, so we don't know.
Can't find anything on the web about it. Someone told me that, but I just don't know how true it is.
But I tell you what though, Zuffa, the UFC and all that, they know how to promote women.
Yeah.
They know how to promote women.
I wonder if you'll see Clarissa Shields cross over to MMA or someone in MMA cross over to fight Clarissa Shields. I don't know.
Maybe. They were talking about what's her name, Cyborg, but Cyborg's no longer with the UFC, so I don't know.
So funny, Cyborg left the UFC went to fight in Bellator, and just there's no one over there for her to fight.
No.
It's almost like she went to the B League,
Well, she didn't want to fight. What's her face, Amanda Nunes again.
Yeah, she wasn't gonna fight her again.
Yeah, Amanda Nunes is the best fighter ever, man.
Amanda Nunes destroyed her.
Yeah, it was insane.
She didn't want no more part of her.
Christian Leacock says that Kell Brook is a live dog this weekend. You believe that?
Well, here's what I was talking to some people, and I think he's going to lose the fight, but I think he's going to go the distance, and I think it's going to be a more competitive fight than people give credit for. I'm looking for an 8-4 type fight.
Really?
Yeah,
that close?
I think it's going to be a competitive fight. I think he's just going to come up a little short.
I think Terrence Crawford is going to annihilate him.
Most people do, but
yeah.
I think it's going to be more competitive than people, because Kell Brook's he's big, he's fast.
Yeah,
it's got some range to him. It's gonna be an interesting fight. It's gonna be a very interesting fight.
I think I'm interested to see it. It's almost like one of those things that you know what it should be, but then you're thinking about what it could be.
Sometimes it doesn't always play out like
styles make the fights, man.
Perfect example. Did you anticipate the Devin Haney and Gamboa fight going the way it did?
I did not.
So
I did not.
Does that mean Gamboa was close to winning the fight? Absolutely not. But he was hanging in there.
It'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting.
You can't forget the performances Kell Brook had. That performance Kell Brook had against Sean Porter, and look what Sean Porter became after that. Mm-hmm. That Sean Porter win is aging very well.
Yes,
it's aging very well.
Christian says that Crawford is chinny. That's possible. I mean, we've seen him down a couple of times, so yeah. I mean, he can get knocked down, but
I'd love an upset. I like Kell Brook a lot.
I like Kell Brook too. I like Kell Brook too.
But I don't know. I love
the way Hearn has handled his career, though.
Him and Hearn are on the outs right now.
Good. They should have been on the outs a long time ago.
Yeah.
I
guess Hearn's mad because he was negotiating the fight with Crawford behind his back and stuff, and he didn't involve him in it. Didn't say nothing to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Joe Biden wants to see Charlo at middleweight. I think that would be interesting too. Rob 87 says that Brook wins the first 4 rounds and then fades. It's possible too.
That's possible. He does come out strong sometimes and then does.
Yeah, and Terrence does start a little bit slower.
Yeah.
So Crawford is listed with a 5-inch reach. Is that right?
I don't think it's a 5-inch reach. I think it's like a 2 or 3.
Boxwork has Crawford. Reese Mack says he's got a 5-inch reach over him. That's insane.
Let me check that. I didn't think it was that much.
What are the odds on Kell Brook on this fight? Do we know?
It's pretty big. I think it's like, I can look it up, but I think the last time I checked, it was like 7 or 8 to 1.
Yeah, let me see if I can find this here.
They're giving him no shot. No shot whatsoever. Oh, wow. Terrence Crawford does. He has like a 7. Wow. He's got a
minus 3,000.
He's got a 74-inch reach. Wow. I didn't realize. I didn't think it was that much.
Yeah. So Terrence Crawford is a minus 3,000 favorite. So if you bet 100, if you bet 3,000, you're getting 100 back. On the flip side for Kell Brook, if you bet 100, he's a plus 1,200 favorite. So if you bet 100 on Kell Brook, you're getting 1,200 back, which is really good odds, but it's a very long shot.
He does have a 5-inch reach advantage. I apologize. Yeah, Kell Brook's got a 69-inch reach. and he's 5'9". I think Terrence Crawford is 5'8".
And Crawford has a 5-inch reach on him.
Yeah, he's gonna
kill him.
Crawford's got the reach of a middleweight. Yeah, Crawford's 5'8", and Kell Brook is 5'9".
Yeah. Nacho said Crawford a 74-inch reach versus Brook 69-inch reach.
Yeah, it's 5-inch distance.
Yeah, good luck with that one, man. Gee, that's a huge reach advantage.
Terrence Crawford got really long arms. I'm about close to 6'1", and I have a 70. I think I have like a 75-inch reach. Last time I measured it.
That's insane. That he has that big of a reach.
I'm almost 5 inches taller than him, and I have like barely a friggin' inch reach advantage over him.
Wow. That's insane.
Bernard Hopkins, I think his reach was like a 75 too.
Yeah.
So
that's insane, man. It really is.
Let's see what Mike Tyson's reach is. I know that friggin' Tyson Fury's got like an 83, 84-inch reach.
Yeah, Notorious minus 3,000.
That's insane.
You bet 3,000 to win 100.
The odds are so ridiculous for boxing fights. They really
Well, they're trying to get money. I mean, they're trying to get money on the other way, but it ain't going.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm picking you're picking Crawford to win. Might be a tussle, but I'm picking Crawford to win pretty easy.
Yeah, I think it's going to go the distance. Tyson had a 71-inch reach.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. All right, let's talk about let's go to our news and rumors here, and then we'll go to the phones. Canelo Alvarez, the big news this week. Canelo Alvarez is now a free agent, Beeb. Golden Boy released Canelo Alvarez from his contract this week. To me, this was kind of sad, man, because Canelo signed a $365 million 11-fight deal. And now he won't collect on it, man. But the flip side of that is I think he'll actually make more money outside this contract. And, honestly, it's better for us as fans because that's where the bigger fights. I think the bigger fights are outside of DAZN anyway, man, especially if he goes to the PBC where we suspect he's going to go.
He's supposed to be fighting Caleb Plant next. I guess he's going to be.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Caleb Plant is the big favorite there.
I guess he's going to be a free agent. So he's just going to, fight.
That'll be interesting too. Yeah, if he's a free agent, then he could just bounce around and fight anybody and for big money. And
so here's the big question: is Golden Boy done?
But first off, let me ask you this. Can you imagine like him fighting Charlo or something like that on a Fox pay-per-view? Fox them promoting this thing every Sunday till the cows come home.
This was a great move. And again, I hate to harp on this, but what if Canelo learned how to speak English? He would, oh my God, how big would he be?
Huge. He's already a crossover star. He is. Everybody knows who he is. They already know. This
is a great move. What does Golden Boy do now? Who do they have now? They have freaking Ryan Garcia.
Okay, so here's the statement from De La Hoya. Quote, "The lawsuit was resolved to everyone's satisfaction. We wish Canelo the best going forward. In a strong partnership with DAZN, we will continue showcasing our wide array of talent." Including rising superstars like Ryan Garcia, Jaime Munguia, and Virgil Ortiz Jr.
That's it.
All of whom have talent and potential to become the next biggest star in our sport. I tell you what, what's interesting about that whole thing? He brought up Ryan Garcia after bashing him for all that time. He bashed him.
Now he's got to kiss his ass.
Now that's what he's got to do now. I mean, he bashed him, called him a diva, that he's promoting Virgil Ortiz over Ryan Garcia, blah, blah, blah. And this is what he comes up with. What a rube, man. This has got to be, Beeb. It has to be one of the biggest screw-ups in promoter history.
Well,
one of the biggest.
Think about,
if not the biggest.
Let's look at the track history. He had all those Heyman fighters fighting on his cards for like years. And then he just realizes he had none of them under contract. None of them. And then he gets mad at PBC because of his stupidity. The guy is just a mess. I don't know what happened. And then he had Floyd Mayweather fighting on using his promotional company to promote his fights for a while. Then Mayweather went on his own.
Yeah,
They just can't hold on to talent. They can't hold on to they can't sustain a good thing.
yeah.
They always fuck up a good thing.
Always. Denise Ward's in the chat. Good to see you here, Denise. I always see her on Facebook all the time, so it's good to see her here.
Denise is good people.
Yeah, she really is. She really is.
Sweetheart. I love her.
Yeah, she's awesome, man. Kevin from Chicago says Canelo isn't as profitable as people think.
Well,
son,
we'll
I don't
see.
know what rock you've been living under for this number of years.
We'll see.
The money man. Money man.
We'll see when the pay-per-view numbers come in.
Pay-per-view already come and gone, son. Even before he went to the zone, he was the money guy. So yeah, he's the money guy, son. Stop it. But do you agree, Beeb? This has to be one of the biggest screw-ups in promotional history?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. D-Style, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, D-Style.
Joe Biden says that Canelo does speak English. He does speak good English, but just doesn't talk. Yeah. I think that it's probably one of the things where he does speak English. I mean, because I can't imagine he's got to speak some English, you know. It's not like Julio Cesar Chavez back in the day where I don't think he spoke much. You know, I think he spoke enough, but like I think Canelo speaks it. But I think what it is I think that he's probably like insecure with the way he speaks. You know what I mean? So he's not really, to put it, he's more comfortable, obviously, speaking Spanish.
I like Canelo. I think he's good for boxing.
I think so too.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, I do too. Let's see here. So, according to ESPN, as far as the contract goes, after extended discussions between the parties, DAZN offered to pay Alvarez and Golden Boy Promotions a fraction of the contracted $40 million license fee in cash and some DAZN stock in advance of potential IPO, according to the initial lawsuit filed in California. However, the entire value of the package for a bout against another world champion was substantially less than Alvarez's contractual guarantee. So yeah, this thing ends. I mean, this thing really ends, man. So, you know, like I said, man, I think this was a big and you know what? And Golden Boy had to let him go because he was on the hook for all that money. He was on the hook for that contract. If he didn't let him go, Golden Boy was on the hook for that contract, right?
I suspected this was going to happen, but you know what I did think? I thought this was going to be dragged out a little bit for like 6 months or so before it actually happened. But I did suspect strongly that that this wasn't going to end pretty for Golden Boy. There's no way these guys could have continued to do business together after the rocky relationship they had. There was no trust.
No,
there was no trust.
After this deal, there was no trust,
and there shouldn't have been no trust. Out of all the promoters, De La Hoya is probably the most shadiest right now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, 100%. So where does this put DAZN after this? Now they got to rely on the crap that Golden Boy is putting out. I mean, and Golden Boy puts out some garbage.
Do you want me to give you another whammy?
They put some garbage out.
Are you ready to hear another whammy?
Yeah.
Think about this. Anthony Joshua's on a fight to he doesn't have a contract with DAZN.
No.
Right? Do you think that Fury fight's going to be on DAZN, or do you think it's going to be on ESPN pay-per-view?
ESPN.
Ask yourself that question.
ESPN. So, nobody, I mean, again, man.
Eddie Hearn's not stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a better outlet, better, you know. Listen, man, I mean, DAZN, listen, a lot of, you know, they had Canelo, they had, you know, I'm struggling with what are they going to put on? They're putting on Katie Taylor and Miriam Gutierrez this weekend, that whole the lady card or whatever. Really? That's and their card, let me tell you what, their cards this year have been awful. Not just a little awful. I mean, real awful. I mean, like bad to the point of like, you wonder, like, I mean, is there a need to continue the subscription here with the stuff they're putting out?
I'm a loser, so yeah, I'm going to keep it.
I'm going to do it too. I'm a loser. We're both degenerates, Beeb. I'm talking about normal people.
No,
I'm talking about normal people. Us, no, of course, we're losers.
How many people subscribe to it because of Canelo? I don't know.
A ton.
Well, even still, right?
How many people subscribe to it? Listen, man, they gave him a $360-some million contract. A lot.
He was the face of the commercials that they were showing.
Sure.
They can't be happy with that.
What are they going to do? No, what are they going to do now? Put Ryan Garcia as the face of the zone? Look, I like Ryan Garcia, but come on, man.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the face there?
Imagine if Luke Campbell beats Ryan Garcia. Is that possible?
No, I can't. I cannot imagine
it.
Number one, I can't imagine Luke Campbell beating Ryan Garcia. But number two, I can't imagine the fallout if he beats Ryan Garcia. I mean, I don't even want to think about it. How awful that would be for all parties in that mess. The zone, Luke, Ryan Garcia, Golden Boy. Man. Denise is the only smart one in the chat. She says she's never subbed into zone. You know what? I can't say I blame you right now. I got to be honest.
Hey, I can't criticize you.
Yeah, I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
All
right, so let's move on to our train wreck of the week, number 2. Babe, I'll give you 2 guesses who's in the train wreck of the week. Why don't you give them to me?
Adrian
You're only
Broner.
going to need one. There it is. Only needs one. The Adrian Broner train wreck of the week. At one point in the show's history, we had to have 2 train wrecks of the week because Adrian Broner was involved in nonsense every week. So he had his own corner grabbed on the train wreck of the week. This is it. You could not take it away from him. So there would be other stupid nonsense happening. So we had to have 2 train wrecks of the week, the regular train wreck of the week and the Adrian Broner train wreck of the week. That's where we are. The Adrian Broner train wreck of the week. Adrian Broner was sent to jail this week. Cuyahoga County Judge Nancy Margaret Russo found that Adrian Broner failed to cooperate with multiple deadlines to submit documents proving why he was unable to pay an $830,000 judgment that the judge ordered him to pay. This all goes back to the sexual assault claim in a Cleveland nightclub. You remember that, where Broner was actually ordered to pay the victim $750,000 plus court cost? Do you remember that, where I guess he touched a lady or something like that, or
he smacked her on the ass or something like that?
Something that he shouldn't have done. Put it that way. Just keep your hands to yourself and you have no problems.
I know.
I don't understand that. It's so simple. You learn this in kindergarten.
You ever see the girlfriend he has, the mother of his children? She is a beautiful woman.
She's a very pretty lady. Very pretty lady. Like
she seems like a nice woman. She seems very, very supportive. Puts up with all of this bullshit.
Seems like a nice lady too. And I mean, apparently all the looks and everything, like she seems like a very sweet person,
Nice. That's the one that, it's just it's horrible.
I don't get it. Top tier boxing channel, Don Shot at 24. Thank you so much. He said it's a top tier boxing channel, been a sub for years. What do you feel of current Haney versus Tank Lopez Loma situation based off last night's? He said also, what's up to D style? Let's take that in just a second. Let me finish this thought about Adrian Broner here. So at the end of the day, man, this was kind of Broner's own doing that he got sent to jail. This is what he did, Beeb. And this is what makes it so moronic. All right. So this idiot goes on to Instagram. He posts a video where there's stacks of hundreds laid out on the table, like a big table, hundreds laid all on it, Listen, I don't know how much money was there, but listen, man, it was quite a bit. I mean, it was a lot of money. Broner claimed he only had $13 and could not pay court costs according to the documents. So he tells the judge, hey, listen, I'm broke. I don't have any money. All right. I only have $13 in my name, but I'm going to be fighting again. So the judge sees this video. The video comes to her attention and she says, hey, wait a minute. What are you doing? Where'd you get this money? And he was like, well, I can ask people for the money. I've got friends like Tank Davis and Steven Espinoza. She says, okay, so you just have friends sending you money? And he was like, well, yeah, I mean, I asked for it. I mean, he just had like this convoluted, stupid story about how he got the money. And she was like, well, if you have the money, then you can pay, the victim. Well, no, because I'm going to fight in January. Can't I just pay her with that? She was just, no, we asked you if you had the money. You said you had $13, but now you're on Instagram. So you can give me a reason. Until you give me a good reason on where you got the money, sending you to jail. You're going to jail. So he went to jail. I mean, I think he got bailed out or whatever, but like, come on, man.
I'm gonna say something. She shouldn't have sent him to jail for that.
Why?
Because
contempt. That's contempt of court. That's what he was put in for.
So he didn't file the paperwork. But here's the thing. He was willing to fill out the paperwork. He said he was going to do it. So he didn't do it. So she should have said, okay.
Yeah, but whose fault is that, though?
It's his fault, but I don't know. I can't even believe I'm doing this right now, but I actually feel bad for the guy.
Oh, how dare you? What about
I've been
assaulted.
Yeah, she's going to get paid one way or the other. But the thing is this, and I feel bad for her too. Don't get me wrong. But again, he grabbed her ass. Of course, I'm not going to condone that. But do you go to jail for something like that? I don't know. But again, here's the thing.
Yes, you do. You can't just grab people. You can't just walk up the street and see a girl there and say, you know what? I like the way she looks. Let me go grab her and hug her and start kissing her and everything like that. That might fly with Trump. It doesn't fly with anybody else in the U.S., son.
You've never done that before in your life, have you?
Never done that. No, I have not.
You've never been in the club and
assaulted a woman. No, I have not.
You've never been in the club one day and just like make eye contact with someone and it just happens?
Hey, are you asking me if I've ever sexually assaulted a woman? The answer is no. That's correct. Yes.
I'm asking if you got game. I'm asking if you got game.
That's sexually assaulting a woman is game?
No, that's what you call it. Beef calls it game. Anyway. No, but in all seriousness, I felt hard. I've always said this. I like everyone in boxing, but Adrian Broner, for some reason, it just rubs me the wrong way. I have a strong dislike for him. Right?
Yeah.
I just don't like him. I don't hate anyone.
Right.
But you know what's funny? All that dislike, I saw him at his lowest, and it tugged at my heartstrings. I actually felt genuine pity for the guy at that point in time.
He was out getting drunk the next day.
I don't know. I just felt bad for him, man.
How many chances does this guy get? Who's he, Charlie Sheen?
I think I'm getting soft in my old age.
You're getting soft, son.
I'm getting soft, man.
What's the matter with you?
Back in the day, I never gave a fuck about anyone. Now I actually have empathy.
What's the matter with you?
I think it's making me weaker.
All right, so let's answer this question from Don Shada 24. How do you feel about the current based off last night's? Listen, man, Haney versus Tank versus what do I think of basically Haney versus Tank, Lopez, and Lomachenko? Listen, again, man, we can't really criticize his performance. We can criticize the fact that he didn't knock anybody out, but we can't really criticize his performance. How does he do against any of those guys? I think he beats Tank. I think he beats but Loma and Teofimo. I want to see those fights. I'd like to see any of those fights, but I still think he's a player at that level. I really do. He's a world-class fighter, and I think if you put him in a tournament, does he come out on top? Maybe.
Well, here's the thing. I've been riding with Teofimo for about the last two or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
He had that performance against the Japanese guy. I didn't jump off. I didn't jump off the Lopez train. So I mean,
right.
If you rode with Haney before this, there's no reason to jump off the train right now.
No, there's really not. I mean,
I don't think so.
I mean, like, look, man. I mean, you can't really criticize that performance too much, man.
You really can't. But Haney does get a lot of hate, bro. He's got a shitload of hate.
He really does. He does. He needs to get off the zone and go to PBC. Yeah. Calm some of that down.
He gets a shit ton of hate, bro.
Oh man. Hey, Beeb. Train wreck of the week, number 2. Gervonta Davis. How could he be train wreck of the week? He was on everybody's top list last week.
Oh,
And now, this is straight from TMZ. Gervonta Davis's rep has issued an official no comment in regards to the boxing star he was involved in a hit-and-run crash in Baltimore early Thursday morning. Cops were investigating a hit-and-run incident that took place around 2 a.m. in South Baltimore, where witnesses told officers that a Lamborghini blew through a red light and hit another vehicle. It was a Lamborghini Urus, a very expensive SUV. The footage of Davis driving off in a tricked-out Urus with no tags after his victory over Leo Santa Cruz Saturday. Was it the same car? I don't know how many Uruses, Lamborghini Uruses, whatever that is, are floating around in South Baltimore. My guess, it was probably Davis. I don't know. I mean, Beeb, listen, I'm not a lawyer. I know my friend Mike Jacobs could probably get him acquitted here, but listen, as far as I
have to call up my lawyer, Andrew Saborin, to see what his chances are of beating this case.
I think that he's probably going to plea out of it or pay some money to get out of it and
maybe
go away.
He'll be all
right.
But
I think he'll be all right. But Jesus, man, come on.
No one was injured.
Georgie said Eric Beebe hating on women and then defending AB. This is out of control, people. He spelled people wrong. It was Peeble when he says it. Insane. Let's talk about Davis's numbers. Davis Santa Cruz numbers. Great numbers for Gervonta Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. The pay-per-view did over 200,000. They estimate what is 200 to 250. I think it was probably closer to 200,000 though. Still big numbers, bigger numbers than the Charlo's had. That's for sure. He definitely moved the needle on that.
Not bad.
Let's go to Chicago. 312. I think this is Kevin from Chicago. 312. You're live.
Fight Doctor's in the house on Rick James status as always.
Fight Doctor, I apologize. Very good, man. Very good.
No
good
worries.
to have you.
No worries. It's all good, man. Listen, I have a question for you guys. Why do you let that idiot Michael Montero on this show?
Oh, stop it.
Okay?
He's got a family.
Michael Montero is the poster boy for Roger Mayweather, okay? Seriously. Because he doesn't know shit about boxing. The man knows nothing. And then on top of that, he comes on here acting like he's Mr. Fair and Balanced reporting. The man is the biggest homer. He's the biggest nutsack writer for Golovkin and Lomachenko and every other Eastern European fighter I've ever seen. Period.
And Fight Doctor, Fight Doctor hates Eastern European fighters. He hates Eastern European fighters.
Wait, first of all, let's not. No, I do not hate.
You don't hate
Eastern
him?
European
He actually likes Vladimir Klitschko.
I'm a fan of the sport.
He likes Vladimir Klitschko.
Well, actually, I've never been a big fan of Vladimir Klitschko. However, to be fair, Klitschko did manage to win the lineal heavyweight championship of the world.
You didn't respect. You respect Vladimir Klitschko.
But I have a healthy amount of respect for him. I wouldn't put him in my top 10 all the time. No. But I mean, Vladimir, he knows how to box. As you said, he was just, he had a glass jaw. Not his fault. Just is what it is. But I mean, in terms of his boxing ability, Vladimir was a very accomplished boxer.
You hold him in much higher regard than you do Golovkin and Lomachenko, correct?
I wouldn't say all that. I don't know. I mean, so I'll say this. Vladimir, at the very minimum, won a legitimate title, which Lomachenko and the Triple Duck had not managed to do. So, in that sense, I would hold Klitschko above Lomachenko and the Triple Duck. Now, the Triple Duck and the Lomachenko never had their brother to clean up their messes for them, unlike Klitschko. So, yeah, I mean, if you put a gun to my head and if you ask me if I really think that Klitschko is a joke, then the answer to that question is yes, he is. However, he did manage to win a legitimate title. So you have to give him respect for at least having accomplished something that those other two hot jobs have not yet managed to accomplish.
Listen,
Probably never will.
This is a stretch for you. You're actually showing an Eastern European fighter a little bit of respect. That's
Why are you
great.
showing bias against Eastern European fighters? I think there's a bias here, B.
Wait. First of all, I'm not showing bias against or against anyone. I'm just calling it like I
Gotta respect his opinion. Gotta respect his opinion.
I would be more than happy to have this debate with anybody in terms of the quality of. Listen, there are some very fun Eastern European fighters, like what's his name?
Yeah, that dude.
Yuriorkis. Solid fighter. Okay, solid fighter. And I have nothing but praise for him.
For who?
Devranchenko.
Devranchenko.
You know why he likes Devranchenko? Because
Devranchenko?
Because of what he did to Golovkin. That's why he likes him. That's why he likes it, because of what he did to Golovkin.
Stop.
No, it's got nothing to do with it. It's the simple fact that, listen, he hasn't been hyped up like some of the other hype jobs have. And listen, I'll be completely honest with you. It's not that I dislike.
Did you ever think because he's not as good as the other hype jobs?
Like Golovkin, I don't.
Oh, I think
he's better than Lomachenko. I mean, he lost it. In fact, I think you could probably make the argument he's better than Golovkin. Okay? Now,
he beat Golovkin.
I thought he beat Golovkin too.
He lost to Golovkin in a very close fight. Had Golovkin been 10 years younger, who knows what would have happened. Okay? But at the end of the day, Golovkin hype job, Lomachenko hype job, Michael Montero is the biggest homer for certain fighters that I've ever seen. And doesn't know shit about boxing. Okay, he wants to come over here,
friend of the show,
act like he's the fair and balanced media. Okay, well, he's a friend of the show, that's fine. But he's a friend of the show who doesn't know shit about boxing. You gotta call it like I see it, all right? The man is biased. Listen, only a Lomachenko nut rider would have scored the Lopez fight a draw, which is what that idiot Montero scored the fight at, a draw. The fight was not a draw. It wasn't a draw. Lomachenko won 3 rounds tops, 4.
Didn't Andre Ward have it a draw?
This idiot scores the fight a draw.
Yeah, he was.
Andre Ward had it a draw, right?
It was an off night. It was an off night.
Okay, Andre Ward is a company man. Okay, Andre Ward's scorecard was outlined.
You don't want to listen.
Anybody and everyone who knows anything about boxing called Andre out on that whack ass scorecard. That scorecard was whack.
Bradley called him out.
Fight Doctor, if I could jump in real quick here and ask you a question. Some of the viewers want to know, you seem to be coughing a little bit lately. Do you have COVID?
I hope not. I don't think so. I think it's bronchitis.
I would get checked. Have you been checked out, my man?
But no, it's not COVID.
Have you been checked out?
No, I'm going to go get a test.
Go get a test, son.
I'm going to go get a test.
Because I don't want to catch. Stop coughing on me. I don't want to catch that. I don't know how it's spread.
Show some empathy. Don't discriminate if he's coughing.
Get my mask. Where's my mask?
Don't discriminate against him.
Put a mask on.
You need to discriminate against the guy. I mean,
just put your mask on and right. Just put your mask on, okay, sir? Put your mask on. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Give a shot in the ass. You'll be fine, okay? Shot in the ass. You'll be fine.
Someone called off the phone.
Shot in the ass to the clear right up, all right?
It's not penicillin.
Right. Yeah, go see Dr. Sachi. Tell him to give you a shot in the ass. Tell him the fight doctor sent you. You take right here. You take good care. Okay? But yeah, listen. Michael Montero, the biggest Lomachenko, Golovkin nut rider I've ever seen. Not fair and balanced. An idiot, don't know shit about boxing. I don't know why you guys let that idiot come on the show and talk like he actually knows something about the sport when he doesn't. Okay, and I only regret that by the time I called in, it was too late because I certainly would have enjoyed giving that idiot a healthy dosage. Okay, but it was have to wait till the next time that you look at idiot on the show.
Is he your least favorite?
The man doesn't know shit about boxing.
Is he your least favorite member of the boxing media?
No, I think that's how it belongs to Dan Raphael.
Oh.
But Mr. Fat Bastard himself.
Oh.
But he and Michael Montero are probably like neck and neck.
Oh, stop it.
Neck and neck.
Okay,
Dan
neither one of them know
Raphael.
shit about boxing.
Oh.
And both of them have a healthy bias for certain fighters. Okay. So yeah, Michael Montero and Dan. I don't know shit about boxing. Mr. Dunkin' Donuts Raphael.
Oh, stop it.
Where this fight at?
That's horrible.
It was hilarious.
Look, horrible is Dan. Listen, horrible is Dan Raphael's food bill at the end of the month. That's horrible. Okay, don't get it twisted. That's horrible.
You know, it's so funny when Dan Raphael
That's horrible. That's downright shameful.
I was laughing my ass off when Dan Raphael posted his freaking Hall of Fame picks and shit. Everyone, and he didn't put Tony on there, and everybody was roasting him. Everybody roasting him.
Yeah, well, don't say roast because Dan, you say roast, Dan Raphael gets kind of, he gets kind of jittered.
Wait. We got to address what just happened here. What on earth was that noise, man?
What? I'm cleaning the kitchen. What are you talking about?
Did you hear, Beeb? Am I going crazy, Beeb? Did you hear it? You heard it sounded like a small parrot screaming.
I thought he slammed on the brakes and almost like rear-ended somebody.
Like rear-ended somebody? World's going on over there.
My thing's the stove off. Can I clean the damn?
I don't know.
It's called cleaning the kitchen.
It sounded like he's murdering a cat. I don't know.
All right, just make sure you're not using flammable stuff.
Yeah, no. I have a sponge in my hand. I'm wiping the kitchen down.
All right. We got you.
All right, go get a COVID test.
We got you.
So, gentlemen, I just wanted to leave you guys with that. Okay, real quick. Devin Haney. Hey, look, everyone isn't Mike Tyson, okay? Some guys are more Pernell Whitaker than Mike Tyson. Devin Haney, from what I saw last night, just happened to be one of those guys. He's just not a big puncher. There's no shame in that. It's called boxing. It's not tough man competition, okay? It's not, last man standing. It's boxing. Hit and not get hit. And there's no part of it that says anything that you have to knock out your opponent. So, look, Devin Haney is just not a big puncher. So, does that mean he's less marketable than other guys who have a big punch? Maybe. But, it doesn't detract from his ability at all. The guy knows how to box. I think he's competitive with the top guys at 135. But, I don't think we should, degrade the guy because he doesn't have Teofimo's punch or he doesn't have Tank Davis's punch. Okay? He's a boxer. That's what he does.
Do you think Devin Haney?
I don't think we should.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Devin Haney is better than any other Eastern European fighter?
You turn what at 135?
Yes.
Maybe. I think he would beat Lomachenko. But if the question is, do I think he's better than any Eastern European fighter in history? Then the answer to that question is no. He would have to go and prove that. He hasn't had the opportunity to do that. The guy's only 21 years old.
That's true.
So
very true.
He still has his whole career ahead of him, and he has to prove his work.
I'm in awe.
You gotta stop listening to the fight doctor. He has a lot of good takes.
I'm very in awe right now.
Listen, let's be completely honest and fair to Devin Haney, right? At this particular moment in time, the best name on his resume is Yuriorkis Gamboa, a guy who made his bones at featherweight.
38. He's 38.
So we need to see Devin Haney in the ring with a real lightweight, so we can properly gauge where he's at. Until that time, he's basically a question mark.
There you go.
So there's questions about Devin Haney that we don't yet have an answer to, and it's going to take a real lightweight, in my mind, to answer those questions. So we'll see.
There you go. All right, Fight Doctor, we're going to get running, man. Go get checked. Go get checked out. Check for COVID, check for STDs, all that other good stuff, man. You've been coughing and stuff like that. Get some penicillin, son.
HIPAA.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't want to divulge like any kind of medical records or anything like that.
Can't do it.
Any kind of medical records. No, we cannot do that. 805, you're live.
Not Chichito.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Nacho, what's happened? The reigning and defending caller of the year.
Yeah, we just reinstated him after he got reinstated after the suspension.
Stop it.
Oh, really, B? But yet you let Fight Doctor fucking bloviate on and on about Eastern European fighters, and
He's on probation. He's on probation.
Wow.
He's on probation.
Wow, B. I see how you roll. It's all right. But anyway, these fights this weekend were awful. I'm sorry, Haney, I'm not convinced. I honestly think that they are taking the softest route possible to build this kid up. Yeah, I get that he's barely going to be 22 years old, but he's got 25 pro fights. I mean, how many more pro fights are you going to give this guy before you actually have him start taking on stiff competition? I mean, he's got a so-called championship belt. I mean, how many more soft defenses are you going to give this guy?
I would say about
It's
3 or 4.
unbelievable how 3 or 4 more, Eric? Wow. Okay. Interesting.
You know, you bring up a good point, man. I tell you, you bring up a good point because that's it. That's it. Gamboa was it. That was the biggest. That is now the biggest name on his resume. Now you have to go fight. Now I want to see name guys in there. I want to see him in there against name guys. And I think he'll do very well. But I think we still have to see him against name guys. No question.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous how they're giving him these soft touches, and yet, he's got a championship belt. I mean, come on. At some point, you got to step up and fight somebody legit. You can't just keep living off of, all these skills and talent that they say he has, which, I mean, don't get me wrong. The kid is skilled, but at the same time, you got to fight somebody, though, in order to prove it. So, yeah. You guys were talking about the Luis Ortiz fake knockout. I couldn't believe that. Like, I watched that over and over on replay. I had such a hard time believing that he actually hit Flores hard enough to knock him down. And then, I don't know if you guys caught it, when he got up, he looked like he had, like, torn his ACL or something, the way he was limping around when he got up.
Did you see him with his eye, though?
He hurt his knee.
Did you see him squinting his eye?
Yeah, I saw him squinting. Yeah, I saw him squinting his eye too, Beeb. Like, that whole thing made absolutely no sense how Flores went down like a pile of, like a sack of potatoes. It was crazy. Like, I've never seen a guy fold that quickly.
Did you guys catch it when he got back up and he took the envelope of money from the referee? I didn't know if you guys caught that or not.
Jack Reese handed him the envelope on the low, Eric.
Yeah, right. You guys didn't catch that. Maybe I was seeing things. I don't know.
Nah. Yeah, I didn't see that. But oh man, yeah. What's funny is that the reason I bring that up is because on the DAZN card they had that big Chinese heavyweight Zhang fighting Devin Vargas, and he knocked him down. And Vargas literally did almost the same thing as Flores, where he started saying that his knee was hurt and he couldn't get up, and they basically counted him out because of that. So I just thought it was a little ironic that two guys both went down and then started saying their knee hurt, and that's why they lost. So, I don't know. I just found it a little bit suspicious, though, for sure. And then as far as you guys were talking about Canelo, I mean, I read that DAZN and Golden Boy tried to work out with him as far as, like, give him a legit number that they thought would be close enough to what he was getting from the first few fights. But apparently he said no. He said that he wanted the full, 35 mil or whatever that he was collecting. Even though supposedly he told Golden Boy that he was willing to fight with no sponsors and no fans. And I'm like, okay, well, then how the hell do you expect them to come up with 35 mil on their own?
Well, that's their problem. That's their problem.
No, I get it, but at the same time, I think that's a little hypocritical. You say you want to fight, but then you're not willing to take any kind of pay cut when other fighters are taking pay cuts
I mean, think
at
about
the
it.
time right now.
Yeah, but you know what?
Notch just got a job at the Golden Boy PR team.
Yeah. You
No.
You like? He likes Oscar. I know.
Steve, I'm not sticking up for Golden Boy. I'm just putting it out there that I just think that they tried to work with the guy.
Notch, can I tell you?
He was being unrealistic.
Notch, can I tell you why I don't feel 1 ounce of sympathy for Golden Boy? And I'll tell you why.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little
bit. Zero.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. Because they lied. Because they lied. They went to DAZN and lied to DAZN and gave them misinformation. They also gave Canelo misinformation. So I have no sympathy for Golden Boy. If they didn't lie and they were transparent with both DAZN and they were transparent with Canelo as well, then I would have a little bit of empathy for them. But because of how they did business,
that's right.
I have no empathy or sympathy at all for them. None.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I totally understand that. But I don't know. I just think that at this point, De La Hoya has literally shot himself in the foot multiple times running that company. He's got to get somebody who knows what the hell they're doing.
We tried.
There's no way that he should be running.
Let Eric Gomez run the show and just get the fuck out of the way. That's it.
Can't do it. He can't do it. He gets in his own way. And then he's over there. You heard about he's over there. He wants to fight Marcos Maidana. They're trying to put that fight together.
Oh God.
De La Hoya and Marcos Maidana. Am I hallucinating here? Are we seriously having this conversation? Son, go take care of your company.
Yeah, I just think.
What do you think? He's going to go on pay-per-view and sell $1 billion worth of pay-per-view because he's De La Hoya? Son, nobody cares anymore.
No, they don't.
Nobody cares.
They
Joe
really
Louis. We get Joe Louis on pay-per-view. Son, nobody cares anymore. He's not current. He's not relevant, son. He's not relevant anymore.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's not.
That's
All right, let me just ask both of you guys this quick question. They're saying that he's going to fight Caleb Plant on pay-per-view next month.
That's what our inside track
honestly,
says.
How much do you honestly guys think he would sell?
$600. $600.
I don't know that he's going to be on pay-per-view, though. That's the other thing. I don't know that the fight will be on pay-per-view. I don't know that it won't, but I don't know that it will either.
Well, here's a twist. What if Fox decides to showcase them on their main channel and just pay him a substantial flat rate? A substantial flat
I
fee.
bet that's what's going to happen, Beeb. I bet you any money that fight is going to be on Fox. 100% that's going to be on Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the biggest star today, man.
The smart money would say, yeah, it would be better for them to showcase him on, free TV rather than have people pony up $80 to watch him on pay-per-view against a guy like Caleb Plant, who the hardcores know who he is, but the casuals don't.
He's a friend of the show.
So
everybody knows who he is. We only have crossover stars on here, Nacho. What's the matter with you? Jesus. What is with Nacho lately? He's a caller of the year, and I don't know. I thought he was going to be 2-time, but
ever since that Lomachenko fight, he hasn't been the same.
There's been something off.
Oh, here goes Beeb again with the low.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to talk about that.
I thought we were going to let this go.
I'm sorry.
Are we really going to rehash this all over
again?
No,
I'm sorry.
Causing trouble.
Really? I take it back.
Wow. Okay.
That was cold-blooded. Nacho, I apologize on behalf of the show.
You got on right now.
I tell you what, it's he's very biased. I'll tell you that.
I take it back.
You take it back now.
Trump lost. I'm having a relapse.
Nacho voted for Trump.
At this point, Beeb's got his Lopez underoos on like he told Montero.
Trump lost. Trump lost. I'm having a relapse.
Because they're still counting the votes. He hasn't lost yet. What's the matter with you, Beeb?
We got to get behind our new president.
There is no new president. Not yet.
We have to get behind our new president-elect, Joe Biden.
That's right. And he's in the chat tonight.
I congratulate President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Well, Kamala, how do you say it? Kamala. I'm sorry. Kamala Harris.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Why don't you move to Canada already? Don't even know how to pronounce her name. All right, Nacho, we're going to get running, man.
All right. Thank you, Nacho.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Look at you stir them all up and then you get rid of them. What's the matter with you?
I love Nacho. I feel bad when he gets disappointed in me.
Well, you bring it on yourself. You really do.
I do. I'm a flawed human being.
From this day, you'll be my new fool.
From Rikers, Georgie.
Hey, yo! What's happening, people? Yo, babe, you gonna let your boy get robbed like that?
I'm sorry.
I didn't hear a word he just said.
I'm sorry, man. Yes, sir.
Are you gonna let your boy get robbed like that?
I don't know what I can do, man. I don't know what I can do.
What happened? What am I missing here?
He's talking about Trump.
Yo, I heard you.
Oh, Trump.
I heard
see.
your voice.
Your boy
I heard your
Trump.
boy barricading himself in the White House. He said he ain't going back with mommy.
Got COVID.
What's
Guy
so
lost his job. Why
gamble?
don't you cut him a break, huh?
I think he'll concede next week.
He's not going to concede.
You don't think so?
I don't.
Fire!
No, I don't.
They got crying on top of shit, on top of robbery, on top of, yo, whatever, man. I didn't vote, so I don't give a fuck anyway. Now, let's talk about Haney. Yo, man, I mean, I just don't get it, bro. I just don't understand. You guys, like, should be fucking, as soon as that fight was announced, I didn't hear no fucking bullshit from you guys. You didn't complain about Gamboa. I'm the only one complaining about Gamboa for fucking ages. And you motherfuckers don't get it. Why you guys complain the day after the fact? Instead of start calling this motherfucker from the gate like, yo, we don't want that fight. We don't want that fight. That shit fight. We don't want to see it.
Well, I think we did. I think we did say in the beginning that it was a
No,
lousy
you didn't
fight.
do shit.
I'm pretty sure
Stop
we
it.
did. I'm pretty sure we did. Now, I understand in Rikers, you only get half of the news. I get it. But the fact is, and we called this fight a long time ago, it wasn't going to be great. So the fact that we're complaining about it not being great after the fact, I think that, you know, I think that speaks volumes for myself, of course.
All I'm saying is that I don't understand how come so-called boxing fans don't get a raise out of this shit. Because these people, they insult your intelligence. They treat you like you're the most dumb mother. Listen, Gamboa era, when fucking Walmart was around, when Salido was around, we haven't seen this nigga for what, how long? 7, 10 years? So how the fuck this man getting there? We Haney. Gamboa gotta be doing the grandpa shit with the little kids and stuff. What the man is doing around him, he got a paycheck that bad? At least come true, baby. At least tell us, listen, this man need a paycheck. We got to put him out there for 12 rounds and shit. We ain't got the budget. I'm wrong with that. Be honest with me. But don't tell me that garbage is competition, bro. I can't respect that. You peeing on me telling me it's Kool-Aid. Can't have it. Fuck Gamboa. I don't want to see that motherfucker ever again.
Oh, that's kind of harsh,
And
isn't
Luke
it?
Campbell, you can't. When the fuck you guys gonna get rid of that nigga? Why we gotta watch Luke Campbell?
That's not a good fight?
Listen.
That him and Ryan Garcia is not a good fight?
Now let me burn. If you happen to meet Chris Algieri in the street, right? You would like this motherfucker to marry your niece or your sister or your mom, be part of the family. Because such a good dude. There's no way you don't like fucking Chris Algieri. As a person. But as a boxer, the man's fat cockers. We don't want to see him out there. Thank God he retired, he's cooking now. So fucking Luke Campbell, you can get rid of that son of a bitch already. You can crack an egg. If Haney can crack an egg, we don't want to see it either. We want to see motherfucking crack his code. And don't run me. That's all. I suppose we will love you forever. Don't fool me. Listen, my time is limited here, right? And I gotta go. Shout out to the UK. Shout out to the USA. I'm out.
All right, Georgie. Got to get back to cell for lights out. I respect that. It's almost 8:30. Beeb. What exactly was he trying to say? He just didn't like the fight. He didn't like the
He didn't like
Gamboa
the
fight,
fight.
right? All right, I'm going to
I-
translate for Georgie. He didn't like the fight. The fight wasn't very good. And in his opinion, Gamboa should not be fighting again. There you go. Correct? Did I?
Yeah.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
let's wrap that up. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Well, people keep paying him, so
I'm looking forward to the Luke Campbell fight.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I think that's a good fight. Him and Ryan Garcia. I think it's a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think G Money. Yeah, G Money says it right now. Campbell's a good fighter. Who is this guy? He sounded like Trump crying about the elections.
I think that's a tough fight. I think that's a tough fight.
I think it's a good fight. I want to see where Ryan Garcia is, because he should beat Luke Campbell and he should beat him fairly easily, but it's not a given. It's not a given, man. It's going to be the biggest fight he's ever been in. Where is that fight taking place? Do we know?
I think it's in California, no? Somewhere.
I would imagine.
I gotta find out where that fight is. I can't remember where that fight is actually.
I don't think it's in England, but
No, it's not in England.
yeah, he couldn't. Yeah. All right, so it's probably in California somewhere.
Find out. Take a look. That fight is going to be. It's not even listed here on BoxRec. Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Wow, that's crazy. Why isn't it listed on BoxRec anymore?
I don't know. Maybe I wonder if they're keeping him. I don't know. Who cares? Who cares? I don't know.
That fight's right around the corner.
All right, guys, we got to go. We got to get out of here. Wrap it up here. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at jhabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. And you can find me on Twitter at ringside73. And we will see you guys next week. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to everybody.